I got people already in the room.
Loving it.
Hey folks, welcome, and welcome to the show right now. We got some surprises for tonight. We've got the wonderful Bruce, a good friend of mine. He's in the background. He's in the studio with me on his side of the pond, but we're sharing screens, and I'll be introducing him very shortly. My name is Mario Morris, and we're here to explore magic, wonder, mystery, and storytelling, and all things perhaps strange, but perhaps leaving the end of this evening a little bit more inspired in regards to what we do. And before I introduce Bruce and we go into the heart of the show, I want to share with you what I've been doing this weekend. It's kind of very different for me this weekend, when I've been at a festival, but not normally performing, not as I normally would do, performing magic shows, but instead I've been performing on a whole different level. And in fact, I've been working with people using the tarot. And I thought it'd be good to kind of just share a little bit of that with you. But starting off with this item right here, I got this pack of tarot. And why this is really, it's not the tarot I've been using this weekend, but it's particularly in line with my guest tonight, because he brought these over for me as a gift. And these are a beautiful set of tarot. And these are the Bruce, you're gonna have to help me out.
Steampunk tarot. The steampunk tarot. The steampunk tarot. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. So you brought this. I literally left the box over there, so I needed your help right there. I'm going to see you in a minute again. This is so steampunk tarot, but I have been looking at them, and like I say, you'd be glad to know I haven't used them. And right at the front of here, I've got the I want to show you these. This is the Hierakani cards. So the first card being the Fool right there, and the second card is the Magician. Have a look at this card, the Magi, and right there. And so interesting character. And straight followed after that, you have the High Priestess. So it's the whole pack. I'm yet to explore them, but the beautiful images, and I'm going to be thanking Bruce for that present and bringing them to me. Just so I can acknowledge a few people in the house tonight. Oh, we've got quite a number. Hey, Tom. Welcome, Tom. And we've got Shell. Hi, Shell. All the way from Cornwall. We've got the lovely Veronica, who's labouring in the background, i.e. she's resting outside and tuning in. And we also got a lovely Gabriel, from local from Glastonbury. Great to have you on the show. Gabriel is a YouTuber, and he's really well worth going to visit his channel. And he covers a lot of things here in Glastonbury, as well as day trips away and what have you. So a few more thoughts on the tarot. I'm gonna, if time allows, I'm gonna go back into it and share with you all my favorite decks and the cards that I was using. But this weekend I did a number of readings for people, and this is for me, when I do readings, I don't rush. I don't do these one card readings, but instead I create an hour for every single person that comes along. The reading itself is about 30 minutes, but it's that time of that when I include things like a herbal tea and sitting down in a relaxed time and space. And the tarots, in that sense, become a tool. And I'm really passionate about that tool, and I love using them. And there'll be a lot of controversy around tarot, particularly magicians as well. But here's the thing. If you're a magician and you use a regular pack of cards are kind of hand in hand with tarot. And I'm just going to show you this. The tarot, in that sense, why I love them is that they involve very similarities. There's a lot of strong similarities between the tarot and a regular pack of cards. So let me try to explain that to you by literally showing and giving you a demonstration of what I actually mean. So if I was to cut with these cards and give the cards, see, a regular pack of cards are made up with 4 suits. 1, 2, 3, leaving me with a 4th, and that being the Ace of Spades. Now, the Ace of Spades is an interesting card on that front because it falls in line with the swords in the tarot. It's the same suit, but different, obviously. And the Ace of Spades, in that sense, is symbolic for air, communication, storytelling, the mind, and what have you. So this cut again, and this time a slight different twist. Give the whole cards a real good shuffle. And again, watch, like I say, and because I'm going to go for the cards. Just wherever, if you're in the room, you could say stop. So where you are right now, if you just psychologically shout out stop about there, right? Now, this is what I say. It happens fast. The next card, the Ace of Clubs. Now, in the tarot, the Ace of Clubs is symbolic for fire. The wands in tarot. And this is one of those, and even if you're not into tarot, as a magician, someone who's working with cards, this kind of stuff you should know. And here's another one. We'll give the cards yet again a cut, and we'll give them a real good shuffle. And thinking on my feet, quite literally, I'm going to use this and give these a fan. Watch, like I say, happens fast. We have the Ace of Diamonds. The Ace of Diamonds. Now, this is one of those things where we're coming down to the element of fire. No, this is the element of earth. And here you are, grounding ourselves in the element of earth. And earth, in that sense, falls in line with this baby right there. Earth is, in that sense, is grounding ourselves and finding ourselves and literally connecting with our finances and provision, if you like. Last but not least, I'm going to show you the top card. Now, you know the top card is not your card. This is not the card. It's not the card we're looking for. But again, give those cards a little cut. And if we go for that 4 again, 1, 2, 3, and 4, we find the last card. The last card being hearts. This is water. Water is symbolic of the cups. So we'll see. And cups is all to do with emotions. It's to do with healing. And it's to do with transformation. Water goes down the path of least resistance. And this is that kind of show. We've got in this show, we run it live. So we don't edit, we don't cut it. This, what you see is what you get. And if I make a mistake, it's there live. And so I don't go back and edit it afterwards just to make myself look good. But no, this is a real live show. And next week, I'm just going to say we've got where we're going to have a panel of various guests where we're going to be going into where our members will be meeting around the table. And each week we have a different theme. And so at the end of the month, the last Monday of the month, that's when we're going to be going into our group. But no further ado, I want to invite our real special guest into the show. And I know him as Bruce Lish. He also performs as a Dr. Mauler Magic. I'm going to bring on to the show Dr. Mauler Magic. Hey, Bruce, how you doing?
Very good, everybody. This is exciting, Mario. Thank you for inviting me.
No, it's great to have you on the show, and it's been we've known each other for quite a number of years now. It's been I was working it out. I couldn't quite pinpoint the year, but it's way over 10 years. I think maybe 12
Yes.
years ago when we first met in Las Vegas. Am I right?
Vegas, correct. At the Focus on Street Magic in the Mystery School with Jeff McBride. And that's when you told the class that you told everyone that you have a school of busking at the time in Cardiff. And it took me a couple of years to get the details down, the scheduling and everything. So then I joined you about, I don't know, 2.5, 3 years later in Cardiff to busk and learn from you. And it was a wonderful trip, wonderful experience. And I, had to do it again. So with enough time passing, with all the things the world has been through and all the things we go through, I was able to join you in Glastonbury, which what an amazing place. Just the vibe walking up the street is different than anywhere else.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, let's go back to that time in Vegas before we move straight forward to the that time in Vegas, because it was a special time, and I actually brought the school of busking over into Vegas, and we were teaching the school of busking in Vegas, and we had a very large class, if I remember. It was a full class, maybe.
Yeah, it was full. 20. It took up the whole group. Yeah, it was like 20 people. It was a big class.
Yeah, I mean. So I'm curious, because you're an accomplished magician. So you're not a beginner. You weren't a beginner then. You've got experience as a magician, and you've done all sorts of different events and performing. And I remember your skill sets then were already. Why would a magician like you go on to a course like the School of Busking? What were you seeking, and what was your purpose behind that?
Well, Mario, I mean, you and I come from very diverse backgrounds, different backgrounds. And as a magician and a busker, it's always been my avocation, not my vocation. So I've always, as long as I can remember, since I started in magic when I was a kid, I've always performed it on the side as a side hustle. So when I took to busking, it was from watching. There was no formal education in busking. There was only just watching others do it right, do it wrong, do it their way. And as most young magicians, when I first started that, I was copying some of the others, mimicking what I consider my greats. And I just really wanted to learn from somebody who did it at a level that you have always done it at, that full-time lifestyle level, to really get a feeling for an emotional feeling, a practical feeling for what it was like to be, to busk. And I really wanted to learn from, I'd learned from Jeff before and all that, but I really wanted that you were coming over. I wanted to learn from you. Also, given the fact that in New York, busking ain't what it used to be. When I started, it was tolerated at best. Now, they shoot to kill. It's a whole different ballgame. So also the opportunity to go to a city that allows busking and doesn't give everyone a hard time, like Vegas, and then later on, to the UK. It was a golden opportunity, and I really wanted to experience the atmosphere and the guidance from someone who does it, so well.
Well, thank you, Bruce. I mean, that's it's been a bit of a journey, but I mean, working with you over these years and seeing you back then, and again, you came to Cardiff, and we had a focus there in Cardiff, as you already mentioned, and that was just like a complete transformation of who you were as a performer, and now you're learning the skills of how to attract an audience, how to keep an audience, and you're putting the crowd.
Yeah, it's for personally, it's been wonderful growth for me. I'll just give you an example. You said something to me when you watched me work in Vegas, and then you brought it up again when I studied with you in Cardiff. a little, more one-on-one time because the class was smaller and the venue, the whole experience was more intimate. And then you finally pulled it out of me in this last in Glastonbury. Okay. I mean, I watched you originally, always watched you, and you always said to me that, the show starts when you're putting your table together. And you always said to me, you like my rig, and I love my rig. I love my suitcase table. It's taken me all over the country and now all over the world with you guys. But you said, hey, Bruce, you could use that as part of your draw. Like when I put my table together, you should do that. And I said, okay, I'll think about it. I'll see how that works. And in Vegas, it didn't really get in, Then I got to Cardiff and I did a little of it. I tried it. I played with it. Then over time, and now when we were in Glastonbury together, you literally reached into me and pulled that out with your help, with Tom's help.
Oh.
That just as an example of how the continuum of learning in this area is it's a continuum. It just goes on and on. You don't do this just once. I mean, working with you, becoming your friend, and working with you all these years has been a gratifying thing. And I think I've grown as a performer, and the skill set has been there, and that's gotten better, worse, whatever. But the busking part, thank you. It's been wonderful.
That's I mean, Bruce. Thank you for sharing. And I mean, this is also good. I know you as the street magician. I know you as the in that context. But how would you describe yourself, Bruce? I mean, what's the story behind your magic and what you do?
Well, the story behind my magic is, I adore magic. I'm passionate about magic, magical effects. It all started here. Mr. Doug Henning.
Okay. Yeah.
My generation magic, big magic. And of course, when I was a kid, I got to see him on stage in the magic show, and that set me off. That sent me on a journey. Magic sets, books, and all kinds of other things. That really sent me on a journey. And I've always done magic. And then through working with entertainers and working in entertainment, I fell in love with clown and circus. I'm by profession, by my day job, I'm a dentist. Okay. And when I was in my program getting ready to go to dental school, I had the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Clown College application in my hand, and I completed it. I was going to apply to Clown College, but then I learned that if they accept you, you're stuck. So I dropped it and I went on with professional, always performing on the side. Then I integrated, then I integrated magic into my profession. That's where Dr. Moeller Magic comes from. That's a character. It's a clownish character. And I did magic for kids in classrooms all over the place, teaching. So that's where those came together. And then I had the wonderful chance to go to the New York Goofs Clown College that was taught by the former director of the Ringling Clown College. So as a graduate of Clown College, I'm fully certified, if so, there's such a thing. So applying clown and all the wonderful things that come with it and magic, it's always been a joy. So, that's me as a performer. I love having an impact on my audience, whatever age they are.
And that character, it transcends different stages, different
Yes,
platforms.
yeah, it does.
It's the same
It
character.
it's okay. So if the best way to describe it is if anyone knows anything about commedia dell'arte, the archetypes of character. There is a character called Il Dottore. That is a character.
Yeah,
He is basically a pseudoscientist. He sounds very educated, but as he goes on, it realizes he's an idiot. And I fell in love with that character. Okay, I fell in love with the idea that that you act all one way, and then the truth comes out, and you're bare. And I use that character when I work in clown, when I work on the street. I use that character. On the street, it's a little different. I take the character more of the grand magician, and then it's very clear soon after that I, with the jokes, with the comedy, and all those things that that the real side shows through. But I've always loved that that ability of an entertainer to erect a facade and then break it down within the same show, the same art. So yeah, Il Dottore, that the Dr. Mulder magic character, is kind of transcended all the different venues and and all the different stages.
totally. Yeah, yeah. And that lends itself as well, because that's one of the strong clowns that we have. You got those three base clowns, so you're tapping into the stereotype clowns, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. So the white face, known for being in charge, having all the answers, but then as things go on and that he's being fooled, he doesn't have any answers. So I identify with that character. I
Yeah,
identify with that thinking, and it's always worked very well for me in my performances.
yeah. And of course, you've got the Augustan clown, the Augustan clown, and you also have the more stereotypical tramp, if you like, clowns. Which is reflected in. I mean, I drew heavily, and still do, from the tramp, and relate to that character really strong. And we could see that depicted in the characters like Charlie Chaplin and Harold Lloyd, the classics like so, and the Augustan is the one that, I don't know, you either love them or hate them, but in some ways we draw from all these clowns, right? But we lean heavily into our own character, and so yes, that's beautiful background in performing. And myself as well, I started off literally studying clown as well. It was an independent study of clown, but and that's one of those things. I was thinking, if you want a crash course in good clowning, I highly recommend that you watch Mork and Mindy and Robin Williams, who's in play in that. How he interacts and works his audience, and again, there's another clown-like character who's got that. He's got a background in street theatre, and a lot of people don't realise this, but he actually started off literally as a white-faced mime artist doing comedy on the streets, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and there you are. So that's yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the best ways to learn the concepts of clown and comedy, is to sit down and watch people. Go to a public place, a mall, a park, and just sit and watch people's behavior. And then you will take that and you will see where the clown characters and the exaggeration comes from. We are all that. And it's a clown's job to reflect it back to people so their emotions are broken down a little bit and they can recognize themselves in this performer, in this, you know, that's my favorite part of all that.
Yeah, I mean, talking about clown as well. I remember us touching base on the you've been working on a new character, right? And you've got a new character,
Yes.
new clown character.
Yes,
and,
my new clown character.
Yeah.
It's gone very well. I got the opportunity through one of my volunteer clowning shows to work with a minor league baseball team here in the States. The Brooklyn Cyclones is the name of the ball club, and they needed a clown, and so I created a baseball character named Lefty H. Screwball, and I have every Sunday home game, I am at the stadium with my giant baseball mitt and my clown shoes and my outfit. I look like a vintage baseball player from the state, and I'm working the crowd. It is all purely crowd work and interaction and with everyone. Sometimes we're on the field in the spotlight singing for the crowd. All kinds of crazy stuff goes on. Because in minor league baseball, the baseball game is secondary. All the fun stuff that's going on around in the stadium is the main thing. So it's literally like a circus that happens every third Sunday. It's going very
I mean,
well. Thank you for remembering.
How many people would you expect at the stadium? And so
it's 1,000-seat stadium. So you're talking about 900 people to a game on a nice weather Sunday, where there's no threat of bad weather. People are happy to go. So it's a pleasure. It really is a joy performing in this venue. Working visual gags, working sight gags up close, working with people one-on-one, juggling, balancing kids' hats, all these different things. It's just wonderful to do. It really is.
Brilliant. I mean, and there you are in the midst of all of this. You got your program and all the rest of it, and I imagine your holidays are quite limited, right? I.e., you've got to practice as well. You're doing magic shows. You're doing shows in stadiums, and then you go on this wild journey to the UK, and you come over and you go and visit Stonehenge, and you have this this epic journey all the way through to Glastonbury, and it was a great privilege to be a part of that. So I mean, so tell us from your perspective, visiting these places.
So the story, the basic story for everyone this evening listening is, I was speaking to Mario about the trip to Glastonbury and he mentioned that we're only about an hour from Stonehenge, and in my brain, when would I ever get a chance to go visit Stonehenge? That's one of those mystical places in my mind. The things you want to visit. Stonehenge is on the list. So when Mario said it was an hour away, I immediately booked myself a ticket, and then through back and forth, we made arrangements to get there. And Mario took me, and it was really, I'd say, surreal, because to walk around and stare and just look at these formations, knowing how long they've been there, knowing how the aspects of them, and the solstice, and the fact that they were made with intention. It's really inspiring. It's really humbling. We all think that everything in our lives is the most important thing. It's not. It reminds you you're part of a long line of people who've done a lot of different things and come and gone, and these things are still there. That and the tour of Avery, some of those stones in that tour, those are old. That was also awe-inspiring. One of the amazing things was the tree, those roots of that tree that crawled out and intertwined, the three trees. That was the fact that that happened naturally, that was again awe-inspiring, really like wow and humbling, you know.
Yeah. It was it was a joy to be there to see you taking that in as well. I mean, as well as, and then we went from there, obviously, and we went to this very different town to Cardiff,
Cardiff,
because
yeah.
on your first visit you came to Cardiff being a city, and now we're visiting this quite a small little town, but it's very, very different in regards to what you would expect from a regular English or country
Yes.
town, if you know. It's and we're going there not only to perform but to experience the energy of this place. So
Yeah, and that's I think the best way to describe Glastonbury, the energy of the place. Um, everyone says, if you walk into a room, you walk into a party, a gig, whatever you want to call it. There's a vibe. There's an energy in there. You get the feeling from other
yeah,
people as they look at you. You look at them. You see what's around you. Glastonbury has an amazing vibe. It's got an amazing feeling to it. I
yeah,
walked up the street to our venue, which was another discussion, but a great venue. And as you walk up the street, number one, the smells in the air. You smell the incense. You smell, all the smells. And you look around, and at the stores and at the people, and everyone is like, I can't even. It's almost can't describe it. Everyone is like pushing this vibe. It's calm. It's inner peace kind of vibe. It's not what everyone's used to. And I found it very nice. I found it. I was walking slowly on purpose because I enjoyed the vibe in the area. It was cool. It was very nice. I look forward to someday joining you back there with my
yeah. No,
family,
that'd be great.
with the whole family.
That, yeah, that'd be. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say, Bruce, next year we're actually you saw our venue,
Oh yes,
the actual house venue,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
where we did training. Of course, we had next year we're planning a residential right next door. We're taking over the whole building, and that includes the residential next year. So I don't know
Nice.
if that's a little, yeah. But so I'm just putting it out there, Bruce. I'm just putting it out there. I love it when you come along, and but yeah. So then we went out on the streets. We did our street shows, and you did your street show,
Mhm.
and and it rocks. It really,
Thank you.
yeah. So I, before I lose track, though, before I gotta, have you got to, because we got this theme. If you're new on the show, just saying that, I got the cabinet of curiosities just out of view for you. I got the cabinet of curiosity, and and every other week I open up the box of curiosity, and you never know what's going to be in there. And but this week I'm giving the window to Bruce to bring out his curious object. I have no idea what he's got, and so this we haven't vetted this, and so as such. Oh wow, okay. I think you know what, Bruce.
Okay, where'd you go? Where'd you go, Mario?
Can you hear me then, Bruce?
Now I can hear you. You ran away. When you
Oh,
disappeared
I
off
kind
my.
of wanted to give you the floor. I wanted to give you the
Oh,
platform.
I
And
apologize. I didn't know you were doing that. Okay.
right, no, we didn't rehearse this. So
It's live.
no,
It's
well,
live,
do this
Mario.
now. I'm gonna drop out, and
Okay,
you
I'm going to
can you.
explain what this is, and I'm going to explain
Oh,
why
I'm gonna
it's
give you
got
the
meaning
floor.
to me.
Yeah. So just yeah. All right. Here, you got the floor,
All right.
and I'm removing myself.
Okay, so this is a real jawbone and teeth from a rather young great white shark from Mexico. I got this 32 years ago in Mexico. They were selling a lot of them. This is the only one I could get that I could bring on the plane. And it's a real shark jaw, real cartilage from a shark jaw. Now, some would say, well, why the heck do you have this? And or why does this have any meaning? Well, number one, like I said, I am a dentist, so we do collect crazy teeth. But I've always found sharks the most amazing creatures. So I don't know if everyone can see this, but sharks have rows and rows of teeth. And when a shark loses a tooth, there's always one ready to come and take its place. So a shark will never run out of teeth. There's always one there. They're always able to replace it and continue, which is one of the reasons evolutionarily that these things have been around since dinosaur times. I've always enjoyed the metaphor that if a tooth falls out, there's always something to replace it. Anytime something doesn't work out, every time something changes, something will be there to replace it. And it's a good metaphor in my mind. And I've always kept this on my desk near wherever I'm working, whatever office I'm in, just to keep that metaphor going on, because something's always there to the next step to take its place. And that is my object of interest today. Mario?
That's brilliant. Thank you. Yeah, so it's that's yeah, and wow.
So
Okay, so we're gonna kind of bring this together, and so here we've got this time period of these shows, and we got these different chapters that you've gone through, and you come through to Glastonbury, and yeah.
Mario?
Are you able to? Are you able to? You okay?
Yeah, I wanted to show
Yeah.
something before we just don't finish up. I want to show a picture.
Oh yeah. You know so that you still got we still got this yeah. Oh wow. I'm gonna pull myself out the screen now. No, is that easier? Oh,
I don't know.
that's not.
So this is a photo we took on the last evening. Everyone who participated went out to the pub, and of course, wait, there's Buddy at the floor there. And this is hanging in my office now, next to my other important photos and diplomas and certificates, to remind me of had the wonderful time I had there and the great experience. Yeah, that's I wanted to make sure I had a chance to show that, because it was
Yeah, I mean, I certainly not going to rush this time we have together, Bruce. And yeah, if this is one of my questions. Are there key things that you can share with our audience that you've learned on your path and your time and our time together?
I've learned that that you're never done. learning is a journey. It's a journey that takes, it's a lifelong journey. I've learned, I've learned so much over the time I've spent with the School of Busking,
Yeah.
and all the different forms. Remember, there's also the online stuff that I've kept, involved in, and it's always great to see new stuff and changes and updates. And like I said, I've learned that you have to keep learning.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. It's a beautiful thing, yeah. That's the beauty of life. And I'm just going to hide. We've got some great friends with us here tonight. I'm just going to clarify because I believe we got Wayne in the house. Wayne, can you confirm if that's you there? I got you down as thinking as I wonder. But the secret words that you just shared is the Beckett's. So you would have had to have been there. I'm going to assume it's Wayne. Let me know if that's. We also got Tom. Tom is here as well. Who was
yes,
there? Yeah, and I know you guys got on really well. You had, and he was helping you as well at points, giving you feedback on your show. And of course, we got Shell in the background as well. She's there, and she's just mentioning what a great metaphor. And we've had a couple of messages in here from the Michelle again saying how great it was here to hear your story, and it is great to hear your story, Bruce. And so really, it's great to have you come along this evening. And yeah, it's got to be Wayne right there. I was completely blown away by the church at the. Is that the alley? And but we got the idea of the church, and it was, yeah. And it was only a few miles away from Glastonbury. Yeah, right. Well, actually, it was smack bang in the town centre, but perhaps you're talking about a different church. But let me see. Is that way? Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. It's Jeff. All right. So this I got. It's not Wayne. Sorry, I thought it was Wayne, but it's not. We got Jeff, and that was a local guy. They came along to watch our shows, and they were watching your street show. And we have also got Gabrielle in the house, and Gabrielle and Jeff are good mates, and they came along to support our show. I'm going to throw it open to the floor here. Has anybody got any questions for Wayne or myself, for that matter? For, for Bruce, I get myself all mixed up here now. Yeah, for Bruce or myself, for that matter. Has anybody got any questions they want to ask? And please do fire away. Bruce, it's been a wonder to have you on the show. And I'm going to use this as an opportunity to highlight we are doing the School of Busking in 2027. We got the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th of May, which is pretty much the same weekend. Just a little shuffle because we got a massive holiday over here. But we're running it again in Glastonbury. And unlike the very first focus that we met together, you and I, Bruce, our focuses have become really, what's the word? Cozy. They're limited, and so in that sense, we cap it at 6 people as the maximum that we'll have on the focus, and this time we're going to be running a residential focus here in Glastonbury. So it's and we've got an amazing venue, which and literally everything's adjacent. So we literally have 2 venues side by side, the whole block, if you like, and we've got a beautiful garden and a brilliant place, and we also have a small theatre in which to practice our magic in and our venue in. So yeah, so do come along and do consider it. if that's what you want to take your magic to the next level. Or yeah, so we've got a question here from Veronica.
Oh,
Get that into the view. Yeah. Hey Tom. Hey Michelle. I can see. I know you're here. If you got any questions, this is the time to fire them.
V. Okay.
Can I do that? No. Instead, I think I might have just deleted
You just banned V from the chat.
Oh man!
Don't do that.
But
I saw her question. I said, "You're going to pay for that." I saw the question, and Veronica, the best advice I have to someone who wants to, I saw the question, wants to start busking, and the answer is: number one, go out and watch buskers. Number two, try it. Number three, get guidance. This guy. work with Mario online, Zoom, whatever. If you can get to the UK, it's a great trip. But work with an expert, and they will give you some of the hints and some of the news that you need to know. That I guess the people who I watched growing up, there's no such thing as a school of busking. They'll kind of learn this on the street from each other. So I have the luck, the ability to learn it from someone professionally. That was a nice thing. That was a nice bonus. So that's the answer to the question.
It's a brilliant conclusion, and it is very true. Is what we say. The school of busking does not produce street performers. We don't do that. That's your responsibility. About that's your responsibility. What we do is create a greenhouse effect where people can come on and learn and develop those skills. But like you just said, going out there, watching street performers, it's the number one key. And a lot of people do this online now. They'll do it through YouTube. But there's something really organic when you go out there and watch them yourself on in real time, and when you watch them in real time, and getting that first-hand experience. And literally years ago, if you don't mind me adding to this, years ago when I was doing exactly that, I used to go up to Covent Garden, and I used to have a pocket full of pound notes, as it was back then. And I used to have my notepad and pen, and I was watching these street performers over and over and over again. And I would literally be taking the odd line, what we call generic stuff, and literally beginning to map out my own show. And this is the way we did it back then. And I would watch, and in the end, I would tip. And like I say,
that's also something you have to always remember is if you want to work someday, you want to busk, go support other street performers, because the only way to keep the art form going is to support the other buskers in the community, whether it's music, puppetry, comedy, whatever, magic. You got to support them. So like Marius, you go out there with a pocket full of in our case, dollar bills. And I've never gone by a street performer that I have not supported and said thank you and listened. And my family knows it. Anywhere we go, when there's a busker, we stop and we listen, we support. You got to do that because it's the only way to keep the art form going is to support it.
Yeah. And pound notes in the modern days round about £5 to £10 these days. So otherwise, so tip well, support the support the performers, and that's the other part that you just said. Is one thing, learning is another thing. Going out there, you cannot beat going out there and doing it. And at first, it's not necessarily going to be easy. I remember when I first started doing my show. I literally, my table collapsed because I hadn't locked my legs in properly. It was absolutely appalling, and back then, but I kept at it. and kept on going out and going out until eventually it started to work. So going out there, watching, doing, and doing, and yeah, getting. I would add one thing to this, and it's but getting mentors. But I would add one spin to that is getting good mentors, and that's that. In other words, mentors that who believe in you and who will encourage you to step into. So if you get the negative mentor, or if you get the wrong mentors in your life, you may learn stuff, but it comes at a price, and I've learned that firsthand as well. So getting good mentors, like for example, yeah, we got the school here, but we also in the course you got Jeff McBride, and a very superb teacher in regards to magic and sleight of hand and illusion and performing arts, and someone who will truly believe in your work and encourage you to step into the fullness of your dreams, goals, and ambitions. And that's very much what we're about. I'm aware that our time is coming to a conclusion, and because you have a window, right? So, Bruce, have you any more final thoughts right here? And what's this? Sorry, I'm just gonna. Brilliant. These are they were the answers and questions. 100% agree. Thank you, Shell. I really need to be really careful of how I go about these things, because I still have I have Veronica, which is really funny because she's in the next room, so she's going to tell me off.
The only thing I want to say in closing is I want to say hello to everyone, Shell, Tom, all the people. I'm not in that chat. That's the YouTube chat. I'm on your other platform. But again, it was great working with you guys. I look forward to keeping in touch for many years to come. Mario, thanks for this opportunity. It's been a lot of fun. I'm really best part of my day.
It's been brilliant, Bruce. I will say as well, like next week we will be having a gathering around the table, and every month I have a guest speaker spot. This is it, and so you've been a superb guest, Bruce, and so if you want to see someone here as a guest, do let us know. But bless you and be well, folks, and have a wonderful evening. Bruce, you've been superb, and we'll speak soon.
Be well, Mario. Take care, everyone. Be well. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, folks. Speak to you soon.